Well, with many people across the Chicago area struggling to stay warm amid the dangerous conditions, there are real concerns about a spike in cases of frostbite and hypothermia. And Dr. Corey Goldstein with Rush University Medical Center is joining us live to talk about this. Doctor, appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Why don't you set the stage for us and tell us what the ER has been like over the last few days?
Well, of course, we've seen an increase spike in the amount of people coming in related to cold exposure, as of course one would imagine, both with concern for hypothermia as well as frostbite.
I want to talk about both of those conditions, starting with frostbite. We know that that sets in minutes. Can you give us an idea of what the warning signs are and tips for treatment?
So there are different degrees of frostbite, very similar to burns actually. And the treatment, there are a lot of treatment similarities to burns as well. Really, the bottom line in the beginning is discoloration of the skin, as well as numbness of the skin. That's the beginning. From there, you go on to blisters, and the depth of the frostbite into the tissues below the skin increases, and that becomes obviously a really significant problem and necessitates immediate treatment.
We'll talk about professional treatment in a minute, but what should you do? You know, if maybe you have a mild case of frostbite, what should you do first steps?
So really first steps are rewarming the area. And by rewarming, the important thing to do is not rewarm with hot water. Rewarming with lukewarm water, actually at core body temperature, lukewarm water, and taking it nice and slowly is really the key to the process. Really, again, the biggest error is quickly rewarming or rewarming in extremely hot water.
And I was looking at the Rush website. One of the tips that I think is maybe a misnomer for people is don't rub the affected area. I mean, we see, you know, movies where people are rubbing their hands, but that is a big do not do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can cause abrasions. The skin becomes very sensitive when it's exposed to cold like that. And again, you know, the one way to look at it is kind of, it's not exactly the same thing, but similarly to a burn. So yes, you definitely do not want to rub the area.
All right, maybe harder to really spot the signs of, but let's talk about hypothermia. What exactly is that condition when you're outside, and what are the warning signs to pay attention to there?
So the technical definition of hypothermia is a core body temperature that's less than 95 degrees. So normal is 98.6 degrees. Substantially lower than that, 95 degrees, or in Celsius, it's 35 degrees. Typically, you get increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and then you start getting a little bit confused. Altered mental status or confusion is really one of the bigger problems. And from there, as it goes on, the person becomes increasingly confused, and then their physiological systems in their body really just start breaking down.
At what point for hypothermia, for frostbite, do you decide it's got to be a trip to the ER? When is that the case?
Well, I think, you know, it's a good question, but I think the most important way to look at this is if you are concerned, just come to the emergency department. We're here 24/7. We're always ready to treat people for whatever they come in with, whether it's mild, whether it's moderate or severe, it doesn't matter. I mean, clearly, if you have numbness of one of your fingers or areas of your skin anywhere in your body, or you have discoloration, you can certainly come in, of course, anytime. If a family member of yours has been out in the cold for a prolonged period of time, and you are concerned about confusion or things just aren't right with them, then of course you bring them in immediately. But really, the bottom line is there's no reason why you can't come to the emergency department.
Do you feel any sense of relief that we're going to be warming up, I guess, slightly? And we're looking at 15 degrees. Is that a better scenario, or is it just as dangerous because people maybe think, well, it's warmer, it's not sub-zero?
Well, I think, you know, so the short answer is, you know, everybody's got, of course, got to stay on their toes with regard to this, no pun intended.
I was going to say.
But I think the other way to look at this is these problems are largely largely problems, social problems in our society. You know, we have people who have housing insecurity or homelessness who are out in the cold for prolonged periods of time. You know, whether it's frankly, you know, 25 degrees, 7 degrees, 0 degrees, being outside for prolonged periods of time is dangerous. And so, we certainly see, a fair amount of this really in the winter in general. Of course, we see a lot more when it's a lot colder, but this is not something that is isolated to extreme cold temperatures.
Dr. Corey Goldstein with Rush University Medical Center. We appreciate the advice and the tips, and take care.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.